and I create abstract paintings, portraits, and sports car inspired art. I'm reading from my script. At some point in time, as I create more videos, I will most likely not use a script, but for now, this script helps me to maintain some integrity in terms of what I'm trying to convey to you, my audience, and the camera, and to kind of have control over exactly what content I'm creating. So please bear with me. My artwork is done with canvas frames, which I create from scratch in this art studio, and I stretch the canvas on handmade, custom-made frames and gesso the canvas, and that's how I create my artwork. So that's what this channel and this vlog is about, both the creation of the artwork and the setup and design of my art studio. The goal of this channel and of the content is to take you on my journey through my creative process and to show you my inspirational sources, which is basically Miami and the art culture and everything that you kind of see in Miami. That's where I get my inspiration from. That's where I get my color palette from. And my art will be authentically made Miami-based art. And I'm trying to just give my viewers and the people who admire and purchase my art that authentic Miami feel. That's really important to me as an artist, to kind of give you that feeling, that real Miami feeling. So I am located in the Wynwood area of Miami, so that's the Wynwood Design District of downtown Miami. I am about 12-13 minutes from South Beach. The causeway to the beach is a few blocks from here, so it's just a straight blast over the causeway to South Beach, and then all points north being Hollywood, or all points south being the Keys or whatever. Alright, so I would specifically like to create my art for people that have large spaces, because I deal in large, or I create my art in a large format. So when I say large format, giving you just a dimensional overview, it would be anything from 2.5 feet to 6 feet, up to 4 feet by 12 feet. So anything in that range. I prefer to do large format art. That's where I feel comfortable doing large format art for large spaces, and that kind of supports why I decided to make my own custom frames, so that I can make the frames and the canvas sizes however I want, and to fit whatever space that I need to fit in, with the constraint being the size of the wood, which in my experience can be as big as you can get a piece of wood. That's as big as you can get a piece of canvas. But generally my canvases are 4 by 12, so that's probably the extent of the sizes that I will create initially. And I mentioned using acrylics on canvas. I will try oil in the future, but right now my plan is to just focus on acrylic for now. I'd like my art to be displayed, and what I found is I see a lot of like large spaces, like luxury condos here in South Florida, luxury living spaces, and I've seen a lot of good work. I've seen a lot of nice work. I've seen a lot of great work, but a lot of the times I don't see art in those environments that's conducive to the property that it's in. So, for example, I have seen $7 million condos facing the ocean, and the artwork was, in my opinion, was subpar, and that's what I'd like to address. I think, and in my opinion, it's just my opinion, but I think that when you have a space, like if you have a $10 million or $5 million or whatever luxury condo that faces the ocean and gets sunlight and experiences the sunrises and the sunsets and the dawn, I think that should have a special piece of art, or art that is to that level. So that's my goal, is to provide art to people that have large spaces for the art, for the large format, and people that enjoy art on that level. So that's kind of my goal in terms of creating the artwork. I want the art to be colorful and visually impactful. That's my goal. So large format, very colorful, hence Miami, and very impactful visually, so that you really, and with a really big emphasis on the Miami feel. So the theme, I would say the theme through my first series of artworks or art productions will be Miami based. So whatever subject matter I do, it'll have some connection to Miami, and that's kind of my goal. Alright, so today's video, the reason why I created today's video is because I purchased some equipment to make the frames. I had a miter saw that broke on me. I bought a used miter saw, and after using it for just a few hours, it broke. So I had to buy a new one, and there was a deal where I could buy the saw and some supporting drills to drill and construct the frames, and to probably put screws into concrete walls. So I bought a set, or a kit, that came with the saw and two drills. One is like a 1/2-inch regular drill, and then the other is like an impact drill for going in the concrete. I actually shot this video already, and it came out excellent. It came out really well. I was really happy, and the file was corrupted. So I'm not sure if you can see it in my face, but I'm absolutely pissed that I did the first shoot and it came out exactly the way I wanted, and because the file was corrupt, I'm sitting here shooting it for a second time. And they usually say the first shoot is usually the best, and in that case it was. So I'm pissed. And secondly, I opened the box already, so it won't be the first time opening the box because I just did that. So that's a little bit of an issue, but that's just the way it goes. Alright, so before I go any further, as always, please like and subscribe and comment in the comment section below. I'm doing this to take you on my journey, and also if someone is interested in opening their own studio, if you're an artist, if you're considering it, I'm just like you. I've sat there and considered it to a point where I just got into action and started using the space that I had to tell a long story and make it short. I initially wanted to rent out like a car garage and convert that into an art studio, but during 2020, 2019, 2020, 2021, as we were all sitting at home, I decided to use the space that I already have. So I bought a fixer-upper here in Wynwood in Miami, and decided to turn this into my studio space. So here we are. It is far from complete. It's really rough, but that's what the content will be. Will be a progression of designing the art studio and bringing in different equipment and different things that I'll need to actually create the artwork. So I hope you'll join me. A second part of my video content will be taking you guys with me on my journey as I go out into Miami, as I just get inspiration from the topography and from the landscape of Miami, the beautiful views, the water, the Art Deco, the nautical design that's influenced all of the structures here in Miami. Just go over some of the history, like I'll talk about some of the history of Miami as it relates to art, and I hope you guys enjoy that. So let me get to I guess I'm showing you my saw that I bought. I'm not opening it because I just did that 20 minutes ago, and the file is corrupt, so I have to show. So the box is just freshly opened. So let me just spin the camera around, and hopefully this is recording, and hopefully you guys can see that. But I bought this. This is the drill set that came. I'm using Ryobi tools for now, and I'll put a link in the description to where I bought this stuff from. And so if you're considering the same thing, maybe this approach in terms of making frames will work for you. So I bought this Ryobi kit, and the cost between buying the saw itself and buying the kit, when it came with the two drills, just made sense to just go ahead and buy the whole kit. It was more, but I might need drills in the future, so I figured I'd invest and buy these. So that brings Patreon to mind. If you guys want to check me out on Patreon, I'd really appreciate that, to support my channel. I'll have exclusive content that I won't have on YouTube on Patreon, and I have some really awesome stuff planned, but I don't want to talk about it and kind of spoil the surprise. But I've got some content planned that's really special content. So this is the Ryobi miter saw that I bought, brand new, never used. I just took it out the box just 20-30 minutes ago, but the video was corrupted, as I said. You can see the plastic's still on the cord, and the foam, the styrofoam, is still intact. I just pulled it out of the box, and it's a really awesome saw. I could have bought just the basic miter saw that just makes miter cuts, but I bought the sliding compound saw. I anticipate possibly making really nice custom frames, so I figured I'd invest and get this. So I'm all in. If you are an artist out there and you're thinking about starting an art studio and starting to create art, to sell art, I suggest you go for it. I'm still in the going for it stage, so I plan to have my art. I do have some art already. I have some sports car inspired art, which I'll link to in the description. And my next move will be to start doing portraits. I've got some amazing art that I plan to do, and sometimes I can't sleep because I'm so excited about doing the art I plan to do. And I'm going to bring you guys with me and show you guys everything: the creation of the frames, the gessoing of the canvas, the layout of the art, the design process to some extent, and the actual painting of the artwork. So I really hope you guys will check me out. Again, please help me out. Just starting out artist. I've got a background in marketing, but in acting as well. So please check me out on Patreon. It's Patreon.com/Miami World Art. And if you want to DM me, it's miamiworldart@gmail.com. I'll leave links in the description to all my social media, and I hope to see you guys in my next video, where I will actually start creating some frames and gessoing some frames and getting ready for actual painting. Alright, so thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.